Right now, your body is a 100-watt heater trapped in a 2,000 square foot icebox. As the power dies, that icebox wins. So the rule shifts. Stop heating the house, start protecting the heater. Pick one room, turn it into a sealed lifeboat, and make every blanket, box, and piece of trash in reach work for you. The difference between frozen and fine is how fast you make that switch. Here is the thing most people get wrong on night one of a winter blackout. They try to save the house. They pace from room to room. They light a candle here, a little fire there. They keep opening doors to check things and watch their heat bleed out into every cold corner they ever paid for. The house does not care. The house is a giant heat sink made of drywall, glass, and regret. Every extra room you leave open is one more place for your body heat to die. So the rule for tonight is simple. You do not live in a house anymore. You live in one room, one box, one lifeboat. You are going to pick the warmest, smallest, least stupid room you have, and you are going to treat everything else like frozen scenery. You are not decorating. You are not entertaining. You are buying hours of safe temperature with every square foot you abandon. So before you touch a blanket or a candle, make the choice. Bedroom, office, or small living room. No big open plan space. No cathedral ceilings. No room with a sliding glass door that leaks heat like a broken freezer. You want 4 walls, a door that closes, and as little exposed glass as possible. If the room has carpet, that is a bonus. If it has only one window, even better. If it is close to the bathroom or the kitchen, that makes your life easier later. But tonight, warmth beats convenience. Stand in the doorway and make a deal with yourself. This is the lifeboat. You sleep here, you eat here, you ride out the cold here. Everywhere else is background. Once that decision is made, you stop letting warm air escape into the rest of the house. You close doors, you shut vents into rooms you are not using, and you mark the border between alive and storage, and you respect it. That one mental shift does more for your survival than any fancy gadget in the garage. Now, your heater, which is you, is about to get a much smaller room to keep alive. You picked the lifeboat room. Good. Now, the job is simple. Make it smaller and stop it from leaking heat like a cracked mug. You have 2 enemies now, empty air above you and gaps that steal warm air. First, shrink the sky. Heat rises. That means the warmest air in this room hangs out near the ceiling where you do not live. So you bring the ceiling down. Run a line across the room. Rope, a belt, a long charging cable, anything that stretches. Tie it from one wall to the other at about head height when you sit or kneel. Hang blankets, sheets, or even big trash bags over that line so they drape down and form a low tent inside the room. You do not need it to look pretty. You need a low, loose ceiling that traps a bubble of warm air around where your body sits and sleeps. That bubble is your new atmosphere. If you have a bunk bed, the top bunk becomes prime real estate. The closer your body sits to that fake ceiling, the less cold air sits on top of you. Next, pull the bed or mattress away from outside walls and windows. Those surfaces bleed heat. Sleeping pressed against an exterior wall is like spooning a block of ice. Move the mattress toward the center or against an interior wall instead. Now, hunt the leaks. Stand by the window and door for a minute. Feel for cold air on your face and hands. That tiny draft is heat leaving in slow motion. Stuff towels, spare clothes, or old blankets along the bottom of the door. Roll them tight. Fill that gap. For windows, press plastic over the glass. Trash bags, drop cloths, cling film, even big shopping bags cut open. Tape the edges to the wall, not the cold frame, so you trap a pillow of air between the plastic and the glass. Air is insulation. You are building cheap double glazing out of garbage. If the room has vents that blow air from a dead system, cover them. Tape cardboard over them, slide books or cushions in front. You do not want warm air sneaking into the rest of the freezer that used to be your home. Do a slow lap of the room. Bottom of the door sealed, window wrapped, vents covered, bed off the ice walls, low ceiling hanging. You just took a cold box and squeezed it down into a smaller, thicker shell of air around your body. That means your 100-watt heater has less space to warm up and more help holding on to it. Next, you will feed that heater and line this room from the inside like a thermos. Now you make the room thicker from the inside. Cold does not hate you. It does not think. It just moves from warm to cold. Your job is to give it a long, annoying path. If you have spare rugs, carpets, or old blankets, stack them under where you sit and sleep. Layer them. Even cardboard sheets from old boxes will work under a blanket. Cardboard is free insulation in ugly brown. If you only have towels, use towels. The goal is simple. No bare feet or bare mattress on bare floor. Every layer you add slows heat leaking into the structure. Next, hit the walls. You don't need fancy foam. You hang softness. Push furniture against exterior walls. Bookshelves, dressers, even an empty wardrobe pulled over. Full shelves trap air. Air slows heat. If you can, throw blankets or sheets over the backs of those pieces so they act like big padded panels. No spare furniture to move? Fine. Tape or pin blankets, spare clothes, or even flattened cardboard boxes onto the coldest wall, especially behind where you sleep. You are giving yourself a padded cell for warmth, not style points. Now use your clutter. Piles of clothes, laundry baskets, stuffed bags, all of that is trapped air. Stack them along the coldest wall or under the window ledge. A messy wall of junk is better than a clean, sharp ice surface. Finish with the bed. If you have only one mattress, stack what you can under it. More blankets, cardboard, a yoga mat, anything that keeps your body off the cold floor and away from the cold wall. On top, you want layers that trap air. 2 thin blankets with a hoodie or sweater between them beat 1 thick blanket on its own. Air pockets do the work. When you're done, your lifeboat should feel smaller, softer, and a bit ridiculous. Floor padded, 1 wall buried in fabric and junk, window hidden behind plastic, a low ceiling drooping above where you actually live. It should feel like camping inside a closet. That is exactly the point. Your room is now a padded thermos. Time to treat your body like the small heater it is. First rule, heat you, not the air. If you have safe heat like a rated indoor propane heater, follow its directions like they are holy text. Vent when it says vent. Never go to sleep with it on. You want warmth, not a carbon monoxide memorial. If you do not have a safe heater, you still have options. Dress in layers. Thin base layer, then thicker clothes, then a shell that stops drafts. Sleep in a hat and socks. You lose a lot of heat through bare skin and stupid fashion. Hot drinks help more than lukewarm room air. Boil water on a camping stove or gas range if it is safe, or even heat it on a candle with time. Sip often. Your body works better as a heater when it is not dehydrated and starving. Eat slow-burning food. Beans, rice, pasta, peanut butter. Anything that gives your body fuel for hours, not 15 minutes. Cold snacks are fine, warm snacks are better. You are not running a restaurant, you are stoking a furnace. When you are inside the lifeboat, move a bit. Do slow, steady movement, gentle squats, marching in place, stretching. Enough to keep blood moving, not so much you sweat. Sweat is bad. Wet clothes steal heat fast. Set a simple cycle. Every hour or two, do a quick check of the border. Door draft blocker still in place. Plastic still taped. Blankets still hung. Any new cold spots on the wall or floor? Add another layer. Treat it like maintaining a small ship in rough water. When you leave the lifeboat room, act like you opened an airlock. Plan the trip. Bathroom, kitchen, quick check of pipes. Do it fast. Close doors behind you. Spend as little time as possible in the big freezer parts of the house. Then back into the lifeboat and shut the door. At night, keep anything you don't want to freeze inside the lifeboat too. phones, batteries, medicine, water jugs. Your room is not only protecting you, it is protecting your tools for tomorrow. You started this blackout in a house that tried to freeze you evenly across 2,000 square feet. Now you are in a room the size of a small studio packed into a ship. The temperature outside drops, the grid stays dark, the house creaks and settles into the cold. Inside the lifeboat, your breath still fogs the air, but your fingers answer when you ask them to move. If the power comes back at 3 a.m., the thermostat wakes up to a smug little fortress with you in the middle of it. If it does not, the question waiting on the next morning is simple. How long can the rest of the street stay warm without a lifeboat?